Hello everyone, T-Man978. Welcome to another chill review. This time it's X-Transbots Master X Series number 85, Demolitions Ground Bite. This is supposed to be Transformers Generation 1 Scrapper, the Constructicon, who helps transform into the combiner Devastator. And I think this is the front of the box. This box is so weird. We got all this artwork right there. We got this. It says, art without engineering is dreaming. Engineering without art is calculating. Whatever that means. This appeared at my house, and now we're here. I don't know if you're going to see more X-Transbots Constructicons. I would say stay tuned, but I don't know, because I didn't plan on this. Inside of the packaging, you get Ground Bite. You get the chest plate for Devastator. This 5-piece that connects to Ground Bite in his combined mode. Optional shoulders because he didn't have wheels in the cartoon. You get 2 trumpets, a sword for the episode where he was helping create the Constructicons, I believe. His gun, collector's card. You get this display base for the leg, and I will see once I actually make him into a leg. I haven't done that yet. If you absolutely need this, because it seems like you do, which is not very fortunate. You get these stickers that go on top of this. They have cutouts so you can just make this look like cracked ground. And you get this instruction booklet with lovely pictures that have varying degrees of usefulness. And here is some of their stuff that they've produced right there, flying around like a retro Transformers back art. Thank you to the person that sent this, by the way. But anywho, first impressions pulling this out of the box, I was shocked. It is solid. It feels like an X-Transbots figure. Like, it is so heavy. Like, definitely. I'm not used to this. It has die-cast like all over. And now that I'm feeling, I think these legs are fully die-cast. The toes are die-cast. This heel is die-cast. The knees are die-cast. The inner waist joint is die-cast. Pieces up here. It has it all over. And the way it looked took me by surprise. Like, you see what the fans' toys look like from the back. This, I like that. That all comes together. It looks mechanical, but it just folds up so nice and neat. And I like the profile. I like that this connects perfectly and how this sits flush to the back. It seems all purposeful. I like it. But the only thing I don't really like aesthetically is the way the feet are. See how there's a gap? Focus. There we go. There's a gap in between the toe and the leg. That part I don't like. And this kind of moves too freely. That's one of the issues I typically have with fans' toys when they have die-cast feet. But let's zoom in on the face. Nice metallic red. It's not bright, so yeah. It's very dark. Here's the back of the head, right here. Gunmetal paint, as you can tell. Yeah, they went like a mixture of cartoon and toy accurate, as you can see, because I can't remember. Can't remember if this detail was on there. I think it was. So never mind. But yeah. I like it. Now let's get into the articulation before I get into the accessories. The head is not on a ball joint, it's on a swivel. But look at this, look at this. You can look all the way the heck up. Love it. Love it. Arms can do this. Arms can rotate. They're on like ratchets both directions. You get a butterfly joint, so the arm can come in that much. You get a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow, which I'm going to make sure to bend at the bottom first before lifting up, so we can get that much. The wrist rotates. The thumb is on a hinge, another hinge, and then another hinge and the tip of the thumb right there. More articulation than you normally get for thumbs on these type of things. These, there's a knuckle there and a knuckle here. These 3 fingers bend together. I wish they were separate, and this one does that with the little curve at the tip. I don't know why they insist on that. I guess it's good for the holding the gun, but you also get outward wrist motion like that, which is awesome. The waist bends to 60. You get an ab crunch, and on top of that, you get waist tilt. So that's cool. That is awesome. Butt flap, hip flap, hip flap. Strong ratchets. Well, another aesthetic thing, I don't like that this is green. I wish that was like silver or gray. That goes out. It is just frictioned that way. It's always funny when they have ratchets. I guess it's easier to do inside of here than maybe inside of the actual joint. But they could have, the same way they did this, they could have put that inside of that ball. I know they could, but it stays out. But if you shake, it will drop. Thigh rotation unhindered by the crotch. Double jointed knees. Gets everything you could ever want right there. Foot does rock forward some, rock back infinitely, but of course you got all this flat thing. And this rotates, and the heel rotates as well. Well, let's see his widest stance I can get. I think this is the most realistic before you're bumping into the actual sculpting of his leg and it starts pushing outward. Alright, sample pose. He can do this very well since he has the butterfly joints. And I don't really like the knees too much. So I try to push this part of the knee forward and then just bend at the top. But that's up to you. That could just be me. But I love he is way more articulated than the fans' toys. I did not know this thing was this articulated because I had wrote X-Transbots off, to be honest, a little bit. When I seen their height next to the other robots, I was very interested in that over fans' toys. But yeah, let me just do my review before I finish this. Besides a few pieces of kind of annoyance, like the hips, they should have put the outward ratchet. I wish they did. I don't like the way that looks, and it's kind of difficult to get this thing to where you need it to be with the ankles since they aren't on ratchets either. But the articulation is great. It looks like it was supposed to look, for the most part, is slightly more stylized than cartoon aesthetic. But the way things come together is great. And there's a freaking fruit fly in here driving me nuts. I didn't think about it till recently, but the Constructicons did a lot of cool things in the movie. Not only did they like help destroy the Autobots at the initial shuttle invasion, they did this whole trumpet scene. They became Devastator, all that. They did the scene inside of Astro Train, and yeah. But unlike the fans' toys, you can actually wrap the hands around this in such a way that the fingers are on the buttons. He can hold it with his thumb, and he can hold it to his face, which is cool, without getting all awkward. And here he is with a sword, because in the 80s, cartoon characters were just doing anything. Anything the scene needed that they thought was cool. So yeah, that's why he has a sword. Now, full disclosure, I have not tried this. I hope I don't break it. These wheels come off. The instructions just make, yeah, good. Oof. I'm pushing on this as like to keep it kind of safe while I put my fingers around this and pull straight off. That's what I'm doing. Sheesh. The instructions don't tell you any type of special way, but this looks like it just clips in, and these both look identical from what I can see. So, sheesh. No, I'm putting it upside down, dummy. There we are. So now he can have his full-on magical cartoon look, because the people who designed the cartoons They just wanted to make things a little bit easier for the animators, and they didn't give a crap for realism. So the wheels randomly turn green in the cartoons. Now I do wish that it didn't have these holes in it, but there's that look. That completes his cartoony look. These are nice solid pieces. These are even heavy and rubbery, by the way. Here's a comparison with one of the Autobots he interacted with in an episode, him and Hoist. And shout out to Thu from Toy Grind. You all know him. He was wiping off toys in his Damn It Open videos, which I watch a lot of them, and that really works. I bought one of these from the Dollar Tree, so awesome. The dust just comes right off. I haven't moved this dude in a minute. Here's Combiner Wars Studio Series 86 and G1 because I thought it would be cool. That's why. The comparison you probably really wanted to see, Fans Toys. Significantly taller. I always thought they were a little bit too tall, and you can see that he is a lot chunkier as well. That part doesn't matter, but the back, I think the back on this looks significantly better. I mean, everything is more like closed in and like solid chunks on Fans Toys, so I gotta give him that. There's not a super duper ton of breakup besides all this Takara Tomy style crap on his back, which people would definitely murder Takara Tomy over, but there's that. Alright, and here's a comparison. Robot Paradise, official Takara, Fans Toys. So yeah, I think this would be a better scale. The Seekers might be too short. I hate to say it, but yeah. The Seekers should at least be up to Megatron's shoulder. Like the same height as this guy, basically. But, for comparison again, here this guy is damn near the same height as Megatron. So, whatever you like, depending on the episode. Here's Ground Bite in his vehicle mode, and rolls very well if you transform it right. Here's what it looks like on the bottom. You have to basically pull this chest piece, and I hate when stuff is on like hinges without ratchets. I mean, there is a stopping point right there, so I hope that stays well. But yeah, I don't know how many times it's going to be a construction vehicle anyway. Anywho, it looks a little bit more realistic than Fans Toys version. I would worry about these little pieces because they're on just thin pieces of plastic. If this takes any type of shelf dive, that's probably going to be broke. These pieces back here, all four, remove. So I would super glue them, to be honest, for me. And now that we're here, we can see the seats and the controls right there. This right here lifts up. I would not lift beyond this point. If you go beyond about here, you will start scraping up the paint. This is all painted and die cast. You might scrape it on the inside and outside. How do I know? Because I did it right there. But this lifts up. If you don't have this locked into place like I do, let's unlatch you. Come on. You can lift it up even more. And there is a ratchety motion right there. So let's just show you that. And people can fit in here. Here is Spikes. I have his hands down. This is Masterpiece Big Spike that came with Masterpiece Hound. You can fit in there like that. So you got that option. Or we can go with the regular size ones. This one came with MP44 spark plug. He's tiny in there. But anywho, this is serviceable. I don't like that. That looks incomplete. So that's about the main thing I don't like. about this, but it looks, oh, you even got lights right there, didn't mention that. But yeah, I love how smoothly it runs and it feels heavy. I wish this did lock into place, but since it doesn't, it makes it less breakable because it just moves out the way instead of you breaking it. Functionality down here, these controls do move. They can go all the way flat, go all the way back, whatever you like. Alright, something I forgot to do. You can lift this up, pull the steering wheel out, and kind of like line this up so that they can clamp into each other. And now there's a steering wheel. Oh Lord, I did the whole transformation video and I did not have the steering wheel out. So there is that. This is definitely made to be big spike level. Comparisons. Here is G1. So there's that. Similar. No seat detail in that. Here is Combiner Wars. There's that. A little bit more yellowy than green. Here is Studio Series. Yeah. There's that. And here is Fan Toys. Things are less realistic looking and more blocky and solid, which they wanted because they wanted the combiner mode to work better. Well, there's that. This is as condensed as I can get this. Here is the back, and you can look at my review for this. I'm mad at myself. I never did put up a transformation video for this. I completely forgot that. So I need to do that at some point since I'm planning on getting all of them. But yeah. Here's Fans Toys right, since he happened to be in that mode right there. Here are a couple of smaller Autobot cars that I already had transformed. So there's that. I guess Prowl is probably about that much longer. Nothing too crazy. And the last thing I have lying around is a Masterpiece Seeker. So if you got one of those, here's what you're working with. It's about this. Their main bodies are close to the same length before you get to the nose cone, I mean. But anywho, this comes together solidly. I like it. It's good. Just the things that I mentioned, that's the issue with that. If I have any complaints about this thing, more complaints, this does not lock into place very well at all, so you'll have to worry about that. So yeah, this is a little bit rough around the edges in certain areas, but it's servable. But that, like I said, it does not lock into place. Here's something I almost forgot to show. You can actually just put this leg piece on here. I can open this up. You can groove this around those lights back there so you don't break them. And then you can shut that. And basically, this is actually on there without you transforming these two things. And we can grab this piece and put it over there. And now here we go. We got him holding all of his main parts right there. So that's cool. It looks dumb, but it's cool. Here this thing is in its combined mode. This little panel, I almost feel like it's mandatory, like people have been suggesting. That is ridiculous. Here's what I'm going to show you. You can unplug this. It plugs into a few points. It plugs in tight. This is the best thing they've done so far in this to keep something secure. There are plug-in points right here, here, and two right there that plug into this. I'm gonna put the stickers on later, but it is capable of standing up, but it is back heavy because it's all the die cast in this, and this ab crunch is just freely moving. Look at that, freely. And the side to side, there is ratchet in there, but it is loosey magoosey, like wow. But what you do get is you do get an ankle swivel on a tighter ratchet, which is cool. This bends right here, but watch this. The clip end point disconnects. It doesn't really clip. I connected this to the vehicle, and when I didn't flip this part around, it actually bent without this lifting up. So that's actually surprising. And I guess the thigh swivel will be in here from long haul. But wow, between this moving freely like this and like that, and guess what? This doesn't like lock in at all. Even Combiner Wars people had the forethought to make this lock into place. And you see how freely that's a ratchet, but it moves freely on something that's gonna have, I don't know how much weight on top of it, because this is already heavy. So yeah, there's like no rear heel support. Crazy. I mean, you could do something like this if you want it, but now it's not lined up there. So wow. You're gonna just have to really want this to collect the rest of them. Like I said, it's in scale and robot mode. Vehicle mode looks nice and has functionality. It feels nice in robot mode, but in this combined mode, which is, I guess, is probably the main thing people are gonna want, that is hella iffy. Alright, the last thing I'm gonna show off is the sticker sheet. They do have holes in it. I would suggest putting them on in the order that they have it, so that the picture can kind of line up at the end, but I'm gonna do that off camera. I said that thing about putting them on in order, but make sure you look at how where the circles are, which I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to see them. Like, I'm looking dead at it. It's like you can't see it until you start pulling them off. Yeah, there they are. Once you find the circles, make sure that you put it on that order. Like, I took this one off and then I wound up putting it right there, which wouldn't be the correct order. Since I'm taking it off of here, I would need it to be right there. If you do that, this does separate. It is difficult as shit, let me just say that, to get them to separate. Like, you have to like push like that, and they do not want to come apart, and then they do not want to come back together. It is tight. And now he is on the stand with the arm swapped out so it doesn't have wheels. You could, if you want, put this back down so that's not just hanging up goofily. But here it is on the cracked pavement. Yay. But I'm done talking about this thing. It is what it is. Cool robot mode, lots of posability, feels good. Vehicle mode is decent, except dumb things like the wheels just freely rotating. I'm guessing if you wanted to, you could have these up like that, for whatever that's worth. But now you leave this stuff exposed. Well, I'm gonna have it down like that. Anyhow, alright, this combined mode, iffy as hell. I don't know how well the Devastator is gonna stand up. Anywho, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Hello everyone, T-Man978. Welcome to another chill review. This time it's X-Transbot. God damn it. I hate it when I fuck up right in the beginning. But anywho, hello everyone, T-Man.
Figure action.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those videos, you really should click those videos. Click the